Hello, everyone. I'm Past District Director Joseph Skoda, and I love being part of Toastmasters because I run into different kinds of people from all walks of life and a big diversity. What I love about District 33 is the different people I meet and what they've gone through and their different experiences and how it differs from mine, yet it's the same in a lot of different ways. But with that being said, I want to introduce our guest of the day. Miss Roxie Patterson. Take it away, Roxie. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, and I'm about to be even finer because I'm going to work on my next speech not too far from the desk here. Writing
Wow.
speeches are fun, and I've been in Toastmasters since 1989. Can you believe it? And
Wow, I just
I
started my
started.
career.
Well, there you go. I was in the middle of my career, and I had kids at home, two kids at home, and I was working, and I needed a break at lunch. So a friend of mine said, "Hey, come to Toastmasters. I think you'd really like it." So they had a lunchtime meeting on base, and I zoomed over there and I thought, they were having a speech craft, by the way. And it seemed interesting. So when they had a normal meeting, I went, and I've been a member ever since. It seemed like it was the good thing to do to get me away from my desk at work. But then I found out there was so much more. Because I had a theater background, I thought, well, this is a way to express myself. But then as I went through the program, then I found out there was more things I could learn besides organizing my speech and my ideas. I learned to listen better. Can't we all? If the whole world listened better, we would be in a much better state, don't you think?
Much better place. Much better place. That's for sure. Where do you live right now? What division do
I'm
you represent?
I represent Division A,
Okay.
and I'm in Area A5 right now. I've been in several areas. I remember when the areas had numbers on them, but it's
Wow.
Lancaster, California, and
Lancaster.
everybody in the valley had snow but us. This end of the valley didn't get any snow, but it's okay because we didn't care about a snow day because I could have tuned in my Toastmaster meeting on Wednesday morning at 7:30 a.m.
And I have a Tuesday morning club. It meets at 7. And I
Hmm.
think the early clubs are the best because then you get all this, I don't know, evaluation or butterflies out of your stomach. You can start the day on a good note. And I find early clubs are the best. How do you feel about that?
I like them. One of our clubs has been around for over 50 years, and the name of the club is Eye Opener.
Eye
Eye
opener.
Opener was just that. It was getting everybody's eyes open, blinking, and getting ready to go. And even if you're going to work or getting the kids out to school, whatever, it's just nice to wake up. They had several professionals in the club at that time. Real estate people at the time
Sure.
were flexible schedules, and it really worked for them. So
I
morning
love it
meetings are
too.
great.
Morning meetings are great. I was at one a couple days ago. They meet at 6:30, and we have one. I'm in Division D, and they meet at 6 a.m. And
Oh,
it's amazing. And it's early, and it's mostly for the younger professionals off their way to work. But every now and then you get someone who's retired will just jump in because they love the atmosphere. And most of us retirees start the day early anyways, with things
mhm.
like that. What keeps you motivated in Toastmasters? You said you've been in since 1989. Why are you still here? What are you still getting out of it?
Well, at this point in my life, since I retired from earning a paycheck and now I sit around and wait for the pension to come in, it's kind of nice. But my philosophy is if you're not, if you get in that rocking chair, you whittle away real soon. So
Sure.
we need to continue learning like a flower. The minute you cut that flower, it starts to die. So don't cut my flower. And all the different things in life can stimulate you, but you need to be busy. And boy, am I busy in Toastmasters because you can join many. I have 4 clubs I'm in, and they all have their unique ability. And some people, just one club is all you really need,
Sure.
and it'll help you develop your skills. Like I said, your listening skills. And now, of course, we focus a lot on leadership. And if I can diverge for a minute, leadership is more than just for working people. You might be a leader in your family, you might be in organizations, you might be in your neighborhood community, like Neighborhood Watch or something, or you need to
Sure.
get into one so you can activate that part of your mind. once you get older, you need to keep stimuli in your brain. As a matter of fact, read the studies on dementia, and it'll tell you you need to keep your brain and join groups. So Toastmasters is a way, and it has several different educational opportunities. You have 14 categories to pick from. And I've enjoyed learning a little about all of them. And they take you from the basics to some real complex ideas. And you can find them, even though you're older or retired, you can find those ideas and learn a new skill. And it's great. As a matter of fact, I'm working on learning about podcasts. We're going to have a special event in our club about podcasting 101. So mark your calendars for April 12th. And Wednesday morning, we'll show you how to podcast 101 from a professional.
Oh, I love that. I actually have a couple green screens and spotlights, and I do videos every day
Ooh.
for not just Toastmasters, but my own business. And I've got a knack for it, and I found an interest in it. But this is something I was never interested in a couple years ago, let alone public speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a fear of public speaking, or well, obviously not now, but I'm sure once upon a time. I'm sure you don't have that. How do you mentor others or coach others and get them to realize speaking in this format's a good thing? It's a good thing, and we should all be doing it.
Well, every pathway module has an icebreaker, and it's had icebreakers in the educational system for a long time. And that icebreaker gives you a chance to talk about yourself, which that's why we call it an icebreaker. You're breaking the ice, you're letting people know a little bit about you. And then you can do another one and another one. They're fairly easy. And you'll find once you've been giving speeches to your same group of people in your club, you feel more comfortable.
Sure.
The only time I felt butterflies, step outside your comfort zone, try to learn something new by being in a contest. There the butterflies come back because you have to go in front of people you've never spoke to before. But when you're in your club, it's okay to mess up. That's what we do. We learn from each other. We make mistakes, we learn from them, and we grow and we get better. And sometimes we can be stagnant if we don't go outside our comfort zone and try something different. So I recommend that once you get to the point where you've got your butterflies flying in formation.
That's right. I tell people when you're comfortable, it's time to visit another club. It's time to join a band club. It's time to get involved in a contest and start all that process over again and make you just a little bit stronger. So how many contests have you been involved with over the years?
I've lost count. I used to be in one at base.
Yeah.
Then I would have to go to Ridgecrest for the contest.
Oh yeah.
Those days, and it was too far. As a matter of fact, I also was asked to be the area governor, and I didn't want to travel. Ridgecrest is probably an hour and a half from where I worked, well, from where I live.
Sure.
But then once I got retired in Lancaster, then I became an area governor. And as an area governor at that time, we had to make 2 contests a year for people.
Sure.
So I wasn't in them at that point, but before I worked, I actually took a couple contests all the way to district. And most contests end right there, but then you can take international all the way to the big contest in the sky. But those are experiences. When I went to district, I was number like 8 or 9 in line. There was quite a few people before me, and I was pacing back and forth. And again, I was out of my comfort zone. And there was an auditorium full of people. I had no clue what the people before me said. And I was pretty much a nervous wreck. But that's okay because I learned how to deal with it. And it was a good experience.
I know since I've been in leadership the last 6 or 7 years, I've been ineligible to compete. But this year, I'm hoping to compete. I'll be competing in division in a couple of weeks, and hopefully I go well from there. So I made it through the first 2 levels. And we'll see how that goes because leadership is fun. I had a great time on my way up to district directorship or district leadership. But when I have an opportunity to compete, and after watching people for years, like now it's time for me to put my skill set to use. I may or may not win, lose, or draw. I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to learn. I'm going to grow. And it doesn't matter. Next year, I'll be better leader, better communicator, better competitor. It doesn't matter. I'm going to get better. just by
Hey,
default.
there you go. You know,
Yeah.
Dana tells the story of his
Mhm.
track up to becoming the world champion.
Sure.
And he, one year it was whole experience for him, and he came in, he didn't come in very high. So he did the whole thing, and the second time, but then he made it. But not everybody has that experience of making it almost to the top and then winning. It's hard. You have to really be polished. And that's what we do in the club levels. We work on that polish. So you got to
Working
keep
on
coming to the club levels and work on your skill set.
I agree with that. Just really quick, what are some of the challenges you see in the future for Toastmasters, or is everything just going to get better?
Well, it's hard to say because we're in this new hybrid world, and our club doesn't want to even look at hybrid for a while. As a matter of fact, I appreciate that it's a different skill set, learning how to speak better in a little square here.
Sure.
The hybrid is a whole new thing because you need equipment, pretty much expensive. You need to know how to work that equipment. But there's still been a problem with membership. So it melts down. It can't be the membership vice president has the whole responsibility. That's great. I'm not an officer, so I don't have to worry. No, we
It's here.
all need to worry. And recently, when we've added a couple of new people into our clubs, they're different kind of people. And so they add variety. They add a new feel to the group, which is warm and welcoming. And we're actually learning. That's, I talked about the podcast. That's one of our newer members. He doesn't even have a pathway level 2 yet. And yet that's what he does for the last 10 years is podcasting. So we're taking that guy and we're letting him do his podcast, his expertise. Yet every week he's learning the different positions. He just did general evaluator Wednesday, and that was a whole experience.
Wow.
He can learn grammarian. He's done the timer and he's learning a skill set. We give him feedback and he can only improve from there. So it doesn't matter where you're at. You can still work your system. So I'm hoping other people will utilize that if they're still hybrid or Zoom, because I believe we've had several clubs that have infiltrated all over the world. And that's the exciting part of this. You can see what they're like and you can learn from other clubs as well as enrich your home club. But to enrich your home club, you always have to work on the membership. That's probably the hardest thing, is to keep that membership going, because you have amorphosis of people leaving through whatever reason they're leaving.
Sure. No, that's a real good point, because there are people coming in with skills we don't even know. Or we need like podcasts, for instance, and films and videos, and even film production. I have a club. We do film production, TM
Oh,
Studios, really exciting, and we put on different shows and skits or whatever. And but even though they're bringing in new things for us, and they still can learn from us, of course. It's kind of, we're all learning different things to make our lives just a little bit better. So that's really wonderful. So, anyways, do you have any words of advice? I know I see gratitude behind in your background. Tell us a little bit about gratitude.
Well, one of my philosophies is to be grateful for what you have instead of worrying about what you don't have. So I could express gratitude for the skill set in Toastmasters and be positive about what I've learned and the people I've met, the friends that I've met. For goodness sakes, you have long distance, long-term friends. You have people older than you, people younger than you, people that don't look like you, people with accents. And it's such an enriching experience. So instead of talking about what I don't have, I'm talking about what I do have. I have gratitude for my club members, for the people that help me learn to be better, for my evaluator, for goodness sakes, that can give me some constructive criticism. So yes, after 30 some years, 40, whatever it is now, I can get better at what I'm doing. That can help me focus and deliver a better presentation. So I feel better about myself when I do that. So I think it's a good philosophy, both in Toastmasters and in life, to be grateful for what you have. Set those goals for the things you don't have, but always be grateful every day.
I love that. Being grateful for what you have, always. And there's always, well, want things. But let's be appreciate what we do have. And I really appreciate the friendships, the family that we met in District 33 and Toastmasters as a whole. even though we were a much bigger district a few years ago, still got those friendships in Las Vegas and other places. And
Mhm.
thanks to our hybrid virtual world, I belong to clubs. We have lots of international members.
Oh,
And it
yay.
brings a whole of a club. We got people not just from Thailand and Singapore, Malaysia, Bahamas. We got someone from Mongolia involved in our club, and it just brings a whole different atmosphere of like, wow. And we all have the same common goal. We just want to grow, to learn, to communicate better, listen a little bit better, and develop friendships. And I just love what we have our hands on, and just want more and more people to appreciate that. Well, we appreciate you, Roxy, very much for what you've been doing and staying in the game and continuously bringing people into your club, and well, one of your many clubs, as you talked about. It's funny because it's almost a curse. You want to join another club, you want to join another club, you want to join another club, because they're all just a little bit different. And I love that. So any last word, minutes of advice for the rest of us in this family? Now you're
I
muted.
need to unmute. First, I'd say I
There,
unmute
that's a
all the
good
time.
rule. And we all do that. We all do that.
I would say, no matter where you are on your level, if you're at the beginning of your level, reach out. If you don't have a mentor, ask for one. If you want a coach for certain things, ask for one. As you grow into it, perhaps you want to help others. Like I'm a coach of a club right now. I can't join it, but I can certainly watch it and give them my opinion and assistance when they need it. So step outside your comfort zone by coaching a club or helping start a club. Those are different skill sets that are going to make you even feel stronger in where you're at in Toastmasters. So what level are you in Toastmasters? Are you at the point you can help others, or you need help? Because believe me, if you don't know who your mentors are, ask your EVP or ask your president, ask somebody and saying, I need a mentor. I want a coach for understanding pathways better. And you should be delivered those people, because that's what we're all here for, is to help one another.
I appreciate that. My way to DTM and forward, I always had a mentor in my life. And we often have to seek out the right person, because not everyone can be the right mentor for me. I
Mhm.
need someone who's going to help me grow, and we all do, and we all do. And you love those relationships along the way, but sometimes you got to pick and choose who's
Right.
going to help you make it to that next level. Deeply appreciate that. Well, thank you once again, Roxy, and just tell us your clubs one more time.
Well, Eye Opener, that's like
Eye
53 years
opener.
old. And we
Yep.
meet with citywide word wizards, which used to
Citywide.
be countryside word wizards. And we
Sure.
remorphed that club for its growth. Then I'm in Membership Masters, which is an advanced club for the whole district, and Division A Leaders, which we would like to inspire and help our leaders in District A grow, as well as getting help from other people out of the district. We have a multiple group of different districts that are helping Division A leaders grow and flourish and help other people. So those are my clubs right now.
All right. Well, we appreciate, and District 33 appreciates it, and we're all glad that you're part of our big family. So with that being said, thank you so much for joining us today. And we encourage everyone to come to get to know you, your clubs, and all of us, because we're all doing
Mhm.
something pretty good. So thank you
Yes.
once again, Roxy. Deeply
Thank you.
appreciate it. Awesome.